All right, before I bring up our next speaker, I just want to tell you a little quick story on how I met Sheba. So I was actually on a trip to Sacramento with my boy Mike Daniel. Where's Mike at? Is he here? So we went to this Cal-Ed conference up in Santa Rosa. You know, I love like just learning new things as a small business owner and how everything just connects, you know what I mean? Because I really believe like the small business community is like the backbone of our nation, right? So how does this connection with the community in general, you know? The Cal-Ed conference, for those of you that know, it's a California Economic Development Conference. So if you guys, you know, are following with the city, we don't have an actual formal EDC in Orange County, but we're still a powerhouse of a county. So imagine if we did have one. So I wanted to, you know, invite her because there's a lot of things that I cannot disclose right now that's moving in our county. Super exciting. We're starting to really collaborate. And I wanted her to see this because if she could see this and we could get some support from the EDA, I'm telling you, Orange County is going to be a big, big deal next year or even this year. So let's give her a big Orange County welcome, Sheba.
God, this crowd is so lively. I love it, especially early in the morning. So again, my name is Sheba Person-Whitley. I am a regional director with the U.S. Economic Development Administration. So what that means is I am up in the Seattle area, and my region is comprised of 8 states and 6 islands out in the Pacific. So all the way out to Micronesia, Palau, and the Marshall Islands, including the U.S. territories, of course, the great state of California being one of my 8 states. As Jay said, we met at a conference, and he pulled me aside and was like, hey, what can you guys do in Orange County? And I was like, hey, let's talk. And so we had a Teams meeting, and I introduced him to some of my staff, and he said, hey, can you come down? I said, I will try to make it work. So I am transversing California this week. I'm doing Southern California, then I'm doing Sonoma County, Mendocino County, Humboldt County, then back to Sonoma, then back to Seattle. So I'm so excited to be here. I've never been to Irvine. So just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the ways in which the U.S. Department of Commerce can support small business. So my agency, the Economic Development Administration, I like to say we're small but mighty. So for context, the EDA has about 300 employees total. The U.S. Department of Commerce has about 75,000 worldwide. So we're the tiny little thing that does economic development. And so how that might show up for small business is we capitalize small business revolving loan funds. So they're actually a whole set of grantees that are EDA grantees that we capitalize their revolving loan funds. So California Capital is an example of that. All of those are listed on our website. Outside of what we do at EDA, of course, as I said, U.S. Department of Commerce, 75,000 people. As you can imagine, that's a big mission. So we have the International Trade Administration. A little bit about me. I was an economic developer before I became a bureaucrat in the federal government. So I was doing that for 15 years. I've only been with EDA for 2.5. A big part of my work was international trade and foreign direct investment. So working with small businesses like yours, looking at market entry strategy, looking at diversification, looking at data, how do you leverage that to diversify your business? So International Trade Administration has a whole suite of services related to B2B matchmaking, as well as what they call Gold Key services. Data analysis is available through them, as well as the Census Bureau. We recognize in a small business, you put a lot of effort into what you do. Oftentimes in the very beginning, this is your second job. This is your passion project because you're trying to get up and going and get established. So we know that protecting your intellectual property is critical to what that looks like. So we do have a whole division within the International Trade Administration specifically dedicated to protecting your intellectual property. We know that's really important as well. Over at Census Bureau, anytime you need any sort of data, when you're looking at what is my draw for labor, what is my draw for potential customers, that data is free. I know everyone thinks of the census in terms of the delineal. That's what I thought before I came into this world is, oh, every 10 years they're going to collect some information. But it turns out they have a whole suite of tools that are completely free that is all related to business data. So that's something that I wanted to make sure I mentioned today as well. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but I will close by saying that underneath the U.S. Department of Commerce, we also have the Minority Business Development Network. We know that DEI, if we're being honest, is currently under attack. But this administration stands committed to the importance of equity and to the importance of supporting minority business. So the MBDA is the only federal agency that is specifically dedicated to supporting minority-owned business and lifting them up. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about U.S. Department of Commerce and the federal agency and what we can do at our level, but please, I'll be here for a little bit. If you have any questions, grab me. Thank you.
Thanks again, Sheba. She came all the way down here from Seattle. She has a busy schedule. For all my community partners, please get to know her. There's so many resources that she hasn't mentioned here specifically for education technical assistance. She's got building resources where we could actually build stuff and they'll be able to fund it. So you heard it here. All right.